Will there be a mass regularization of foreigners in 2025? All signs point to a yes, and in fact, we could see it very soon, possibly in the upcoming weeks. Who would benefit from this regularization? What will the requirements be? How close are we to finally being approved after a month of waiting? We'll explain all details in this video. Hello everyone, my name is Gerard, I'm the head of marketing at Sales Group, and in today's video we're talking about one of the hottest and most anticipated topics among the foreigner community, the mass regularization. We're referring to the potential activation of an extraordinary mechanism by the government allowing many foreigners under an irregular status to obtain legal residency in Spain more easily through this specific procedure. We'll now break down all the details for you so you have no doubts. But before that, don't forget to subscribe if you find these videos helpful. That way you'll stay up to date with news like this one. So now let's get started. Current status of the mass regularization. One of the most talked about topics among the foreigner community last year was the mass regularization of foreigners, a proposal that seemed almost inevitable as many of the details were already outlined and the legislative process was in an advanced stage. However, the regularization ultimately never came to light as it stalled in the Spanish Congress. Why did the process not move forward? In the end, the government determined that the current reform of the immigration regulation, which came into effect on May 20, 2025, already sufficiently facilitated the regularization of many foreigners thanks to changes introduced in the different arraigo categories. For example, reducing the required years of residency in Spain from 3 to 2 before applying for arraigo, and the creation of new categories covering a broader range of cases made it easier for many who would benefit from the mass regularization to obtain residency through these more flexible standard pathways. From this perspective, a mass regularization was deemed unnecessary. And to some extent, that's true. The new regulation significantly eases the access to arraigo and introduces new advantages. However, it also has limitations and overlooks certain situations. For instance, asylum seekers, one of the groups that would benefit the most from this regularization, still face significant barriers in transitioning to a residence and work permit. To address the situation of this group, mass regularization could be revived to provide a clear path to a legal residency. Other groups could also be included, as we'll explain next. So, who could benefit from this regularization? What we can confirm for now is the content of the proposal the Social Party plans to present to other parliamentary groups. Let's take a look at the requirements you need to meet to benefit from this regularization. The proposal aims to legalize the status of those foreigners who 1. Were in Spain before March the 31st, 2025. Second, had been in Spain for at least 1 year at the time of the application. And third, have no criminal or police records and no existing expulsion or entry bans into Spain. And in addition to these three general requirements, who meet at least one of the following conditions. 1. To have a job offer or employment contract where the specific details are still to be determined. To have school-age dependent children, foreigners who abandoned their asylum applications, and those who are in a situation of special vulnerability, even though this concept still needs to be clearly defined. Important note, these additional requirements are speculative and based on ideas that have been proposed, but they do not yet reflect the final reality of the regularization. We still need to wait and see how discussions in Congress evolve. When would this regularization take place? There is no confirmed date yet for the approval of the mass regularization. Parliamentary groups are still voting and negotiating the proposal's point and details, and will need to wait for a final position. That said, everything indicates that the regularization could be approved very soon, potentially in the upcoming weeks. We'll keep you updated with all developments and confirmed dates on our social media channels, so if you want to stay informed, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Goodbye.